Okay. We really won't know.
We really don't know.
We won't really know that.
But at this part of the flight, mind you, they're not using full power. This isn't a takeoff. This is a landing, and the power is not at full RPM. So I would think that's kind of unlikely, but who knows?
Now, this may not have anything to do with that, but this is a fairly new aircraft. This, I think, is only
correct.
came out in 2007 or 2008.
Yes.
So, not that saying that couldn't happen to a brand new aircraft, but this was a pretty new aircraft. Good morning. We have someone else on the line. Do you have a question?
Oh, yeah, hi, this is Rob in Kenmore.
Hi, Rob.
Hi, how you doing?
Okay.
I actually have two questions. Actually, I was just wondering, why would there be 6,000 pounds of fuel on a plane that's going approximately a 55-minute flight? And I was just wondering, another question, why was all this clearance on our airport, our landing, going through a Cleveland airport? Why wouldn't it go through our airport? I don't understand why Cleveland was even involved in this whatsoever.
Buffalo approach handles a 30-mile radius around Buffalo. Okay, when the planes are higher and farther apart, Cleveland takes over from New York at approximately Syracuse. And once they get down below 10,000 feet, the local airports take over. So Cleveland Center handles the airspace at high altitudes down until about 10,000 feet and being close to the airport. And secondly, he had that much fuel on it for a couple of reasons. In the event that the weather was so sour that he couldn't land in Buffalo, or there was an airport condition where they couldn't land, he has to have enough fuel to make it to an alternate. So that's, and 45 minutes after that. So that's a normal thing to have that amount of fuel on it in the case of an emergency.
All right, thank you, and thank you for that. Like we say, we are speculating at this point the best we can. Gerry is a 30-year-plus experienced airline transport pilot. He flies a Citation EL. We're just looking at the model of this airplane. This is what Gerry flies, trying to speculate the best we can with really little information, just with pretty much what we see. We know that there is a very small crash area. So it does not look like the plane had any time to talk to the tower. It looks like it went straight down, and we're just trying to speculate on the very, very few facts of what we do know. We do have someone else on the line, and we'll be happy to take that call, and any information we can help impart this morning, we'll do our best. Good morning.
Good morning. My question was, do you think it may be a possibility of a malfunction with the electrical wires that shut down the whole system to where they couldn't communicate that something was wrong and maybe just had it go straight down because everything shut off?
Okay, that's an interesting question.
It's possible. It's possible but not likely because it happened at a strange place. They were in radio control, I believe, right up until they got to this point. And where they were at was, a matter of a couple minutes to the final approach for the ILS approach into the airport.
Gerry, as a pilot, when all of a sudden, let's just say you have no control, okay? Split second. I would imagine, being a pilot, your first reaction is to try to keep the plane upright,
Correct.
not to grab to the radio.
Correct.
So I would imagine that those pilots, their first reaction is to find out what's going wrong and to try to get the plane back up where it's supposed to be.
Not only that, there are standby instruments that run on a battery. The entire aircraft system does not run on the same electrical system. There's a backup battery standby unit that works for 45 minutes. I wasn't even thinking about that for a second, but there are separate, there's multiple systems on that aircraft so that if one thing fails, there's another way to get there. And this little standby gyro is totally self-contained with its own little battery pack.
Well, it's interesting because we'll have to find out. We're obviously going to stand by. The investigation has just started. They've had very little time to get even near the wreck yet because it's still smoldering for safety reasons. But of course, these are all questions that will be answered in the coming days. It's such a tragedy. But Gerry, we thank you so much for taking time.